The Golden State Warriors have easily been the most dominant team in the NBA over the past decade. They've won 4 championships since 2015 and appear to be set for another championship run headed into next season. As long as the Warriors can keep this current core together, they look like contenders for the foreseeable future. But unfortunately, it looks like the Warriors aren't going to be able to keep everybody due to financial reasons, and in this video, I'm going to explain why. But before we continue, I'm super close to 10,000 subscribers. So if you enjoy the content, please help me get there by liking the video and hitting that subscribe button. Now let's get started. The Warriors just had the highest luxury tax bill in NBA history, and keeping their current core together is going to bring that tax bill to an even higher level. Last season, the Warriors team payroll was $188 million. The luxury tax bill was $165 million, bringing the combined payroll and tax payment to an astounding $353 million. And now the Warriors face a huge dilemma because 3 of their key pieces are set to hit free agency next season. I'm talking about Draymond Green, Jordan Poole, and Andrew Wiggins. Draymond Green has already stated that he wants a max extension. Jordan Poole is reportedly seeking an extension worth $100 million over 4 years. And after making his first All-Star team, expect Wiggins to seek a max extension as well. Paying these 3 guys what they want will bring the Warriors' combined payroll and tax payments to $564 million. This is a price that's way too steep for owner Joe Lacob. Even $400 million is considered too much according to him. But if the Warriors were to slice just one of these contract extensions away, instead of paying over $500 million, their combined payroll and tax payments would be just $338 million next season, a range that Lacob is much more comfortable paying. So as we can see, the Warriors face a huge dilemma. Let's deep dive into each of these players' situation. Let's start off with Draymond Green. Green believes he's worth a max extension, and on August 3rd, he's eligible to sign one. A max extension would pay Draymond $138 million over 4 seasons. Green has declined offensively over the years, but he's still one of the most important pieces on the Warriors. He's a perennial Defensive Player of the Year candidate with the ability to outright control games on the defensive end. And on offense, Green isn't a good shooter or scorer, but the Warriors can hide these weaknesses with their offensive talent. And despite these weaknesses, Green has a huge impact on offense with his screen setting and passing ability. Green's impact goes beyond the numbers because he's the heart and soul of the team. His defensive intensity is infectious, and he encourages the entire team to give 100%. He's been a huge part of all 4 of the Warriors' title runs. But the Dubs have no intention of maxing out Draymond, and things could get ugly soon because next offseason, Draymond can be a free agent should he opt out of his player option, which would allow him to sign with any team he wants. Now let's discuss Andrew Wiggins. If Wiggins signs a 4-year max extension this offseason, then that would pay him $146 million over the next 4 seasons. After underachieving in Minnesota, Wiggins has evolved into one of the top 2-way players in the league. He's a lockdown perimeter defender and a very good scorer, which is why he earned his first All-Star team this season. In the finals, he held Jason Tatum to just 36% shooting while averaging 18 points and 9 rebounds a game in the series. Wiggins is another huge part of the Dubs' success, and he's another guy that can walk for nothing next summer, if not extended this offseason. Lastly, Jordan Poole also needs to be extended, and he's reportedly seeking a 4-year $100 million deal, which would pay him about $25 million annually. Jordan Poole had a breakout season last year, putting up 18 points and 4 assists per game. Like Steph, he's an excellent shooter off the bounce with deep range, but he also gets by defenders at will and finishes strong at the rim. His high level of play made him a top 4 most improved player of the year candidate, and when Steph was hurt at the end of the regular season, Poole really stepped it up and held it down in Steph's absence. Poole will more than likely be a 6th man next year, but he'll also be one of the Warriors' most dangerous offensive players. Unlike Dre and Wiggins, he'll be a restricted free agent, so the Warriors will have the final say on whether he comes back or leaves. Unfortunately, something's gotta give. The Warriors are probably going to end up losing at least one of these 3 guys. Now, in a perfect world, the Warriors would extend all 3 players, and they could extend all 3 players if they really wanted to. But the owner clearly has a limit at how much he's willing to spend, even if it's for a championship team. In this offseason, we already saw the Warriors lose some key role players, including Gary Payne II, because they were unwilling to pay the luxury tax. If I was to take a guess, the Warriors are probably going to let one of these 3 players go, and it will probably be the most expendable of the 3. And it would be unfortunate if the Warriors were forced to lose one of these key 3 players, but this is why the NBA created the luxury tax rules to begin with. The NBA wanted to prevent one team from becoming overpowered and destroying the competitive balance in the league and winning the championship every season. I'm sure if you're a Warriors fan, you probably think this is some terrible injustice, but if you're a fan of one of the other 29 NBA teams, you probably would be happy to see the Warriors lose some key pieces. But now I want to hear from you guys. What are your thoughts on this current dilemma of the Warriors? Which of these 3 players should they let go? Or should they trade one of them so that way they don't end up losing them for nothing? How would you handle this situation? Tell me in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, drop a like on it and hit that subscribe button. If the Warriors can keep this current core together, they look set to make a championship run next season. Click this video to see why the rest of the NBA is terrified of the Golden State Warriors.